Leaving the cinema after watching Avatar: The Way of Water in IMAX 3D left me with a feeling of, did that actually happen? Like, how did that get made? How is that a thing that actually exists in the world? For once, a massive budget, insane technical skill, and animators that actually had enough time and money to finish their work converged to create something that is nothing short of a feat of engineering. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't think it's a perfect film with an intricate, thought-provoking story or anything, and I feel that pretty much all the criticisms levied against it are valid, but I don't know if it's even all that valuable to compare it to other movies, because to me, this feels like a different thing entirely, and maybe James Cameron wasn't even trying to make it like other films. Granted, this was the first time I had seen a film in IMAX 3D, and the only way I ever watched Avatar 1 was on my 720p TV like 10 years ago. But still, watching Avatar 2, I genuinely felt like I'd never seen anything like it before, and that doesn't happen all that often. Back in 2019, Martin Scorsese said that he felt that Marvel films were separate from cinema, and he got a lot of shit for that. While I disagree with some of what he said, I still think I believe in this fundamental idea. Not in a film bro, like Marvel bad, Joker, American Psycho, Fight Club good kind of way. I just think they're different entities. Blockbusters like these are not a poignant exploration of a realistic character, and they're definitely not trying to be either. They're intended to be full of thrill ride action with a star-studded cast. And I think that Avatar is separate as well. First of all, Avatar 2, as it is intended to be viewed in IMAX 3D, is presented in an entirely different way to the vast majority of films. The screen is so fucking big that the traditional rules of cinematography almost don't apply anymore, because it's literally impossible to notice everything in the frame. I mean, seriously, how is it even possible to fit that thing in a building? Did they edit the movie on IMAX only to get a 10-foot wide Premiere Pro error message? The 3D effect also adds another dimension to the frame on top of the massive screen, allowing even more depth and potential things to be focused on. And this results in everyone who views the film getting a slightly different experience, which is kind of cool, to be honest. I think this presentation is the way in which James Cameron is showing us that this film is intended to be different from most other movies. If you were to watch a character piece movie in IMAX 3D, it would just be distracting, as seeing the same locations and the same characters but in 3D would end up not adding anything to the movie overall. And James Cameron wasn't trying to make a movie like that. With his focus on world building above all else, what we end up getting is more akin to exploring a video game's open world or watching its cutscenes, but in a much more detailed and visually appealing way. Yes, the story is very simple and serviceable, but if it was more complicated, it would be too difficult to get immersed in the world, and you wouldn't be able to enjoy the scenery as much. Yes, the movie is very long, but if it was shorter, you wouldn't have had time to get attached to the characters and better understand their emotions.
And Avatar was almost done, and they were complaining about the flying scenes. Why does this flying scene go on so long? It doesn't advance the narrative, it doesn't advance the character, but guess what? I want to see it. If I want to see it, my cognitive leap is there are going to be lots of people that want to see it, because there is a purpose to the things you want to see. The purpose is to be present, to be in that world, to be enjoying what's happening, to sustain a feeling. So those flying scenes actually did have a big purpose.
James Cameron wasn't trying to make a blockbuster Marvel-type movie, but on an alien planet. He was trying to create an entirely new world for us to be shown and explore for a few hours, with a simple story being there just to guide our experience and emotions. And looking at the film through that lens, I really enjoyed it. And I hope that other studios try to make similar experiences. Imagine being able to immerse yourself in a massive, sprawling Blade Runner-esque city, or an Alien-style horror movie. Perhaps the world itself could even carry the message of the film, like a Silent Hill-style manifestation. Probably not very likely considering how much Avatar 2 cost to make and whether or not it makes a profit or not, but I find it interesting to think about. That's about it for this video. These are just my thoughts though. Feel free to comment below what you thought about the movie. Or you could just proceed to drop a tactical nuke on my argument by saying mid. I can't argue with that. If you want to hear more movie thoughts, opinions and critiques in the future, make sure to subscribe. So yeah, bye.